Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. I got a phone call from one of the other math teachers just for a second and had to hand. Sorry about that. I was on mute and then I forgot to turn it off. I had to grab a quick phone call from another math teacher. Sorry about that. And let her know that I was in math lab. But she had a question on good technology stuff. We love our technology. Anyway, do either of you have a question on either classwork from yesterday or today's video? Or anything else? Stuff that's coming up. Right now, what I'm trying to do is pull up I have my blank paper. But I was trying to pull up a piece of graph paper in case I needed to do any graphing for you guys, because my graphs, when I hand make them, are not real pretty. Oh, Natty Grace, I just saw your post. I'm so sorry if you broke something. How did you do it, by the way? Because I saw it wrapped up. I just didn't know what happened. Your hand. I saw your hand wrapped up. Oh, I didn't realize it happened in PE. Well, oh, I really feel bad. Keep me posted, would you, as to what happens? I guess usually with an x-ray, they don't know too much right away, but keep me posted and I'll be praying. I'm so sorry. I know it has to hurt. And on top of that, it's difficult maneuvering. Was it your writing? It wasn't your writing hand, was it? Because if it was, you were handling it very well yesterday in class. Not that you don't handle most things well, but I was like, wow. Um, it was. Oh Lord. Oh, it happened after class. For some reason I was thinking that you had maybe that was another student. My bad. I was thinking it was wrapped up, but it happened after class. But it was your writing hand. Oh, bless your heart. Well, I didn't do guided practice problems because the video was so long. And I felt like the video was pretty, you had enough things to do within the video to drive the point home. Was kind of let's see. Hang on just a second. Let me talk a little bit about since we didn't do the guided practice problems, I'm going to talk a little bit about them. Oops, sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure that y'all could see what I was talking about. Is that very big? Because it seems like when I make it bigger, it actually distorts it on y'all's end instead of making it actually bigger. I'm going to try, see if that, let me, and go back and see what that looks like. Oh, actually it worked. It works out okay. All right. Well, what and the very first example that they had was actually was a standardized, test practice. And they probably will have something like this on a standardized test. But when it's talking about which ordered pair is a solution of 3x minus y equals 7, you would technically have to test each of the ordered pairs just like they are in the example box. The key thing to remember is to which ordered pair is or which coordinate is what in each of the ordered pairs. And just keeping this straight throughout graphing is really one of the things that will help you the most. And remembering, because it seems like a lot of times when you're manipulating the coordinates for different exercises when working with a coordinate plane, that can sometimes get a little confusing. So just remembering that the first one is X and the second one in the ordered pair is Y will really, really help you a lot, and to always bear that in mind. I think a little bit when we talked about functions in chapter 1, I talked about the fact that it comes in alphabetical order, just like input, output is in alphabetical order, and domain and range is alphabetical order. And each of those things refers to X and Y. So the X is an input. The X is also the domain. The Y is the range, and it's also the output. So just always keep those things in mind. And because those things will be used interchangeably throughout Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. Domain and range, input, output, functions, those kind of things, X's and Y's. And you'll be creating tables of values. So when you're plugging in an ordered pair, you notice on the test, they put test the very first one, which is solution A, 3 and 4. They plugged in the 3 where the X is and the 4 where the Y is, and they literally just solve it from there. If the answers equal each other, then you know it's an ordered pair. So the first one, 3, 4, was not. The second one, y negative 4, was, because 7 equals 7. So if the statement turns out to be true, then you've got it. And that's pretty much what it is when they're asking. So the classwork tomorrow definitely has problems like that on there. So I need to pull the book up on a different screen because I'm going to try the very first practice problem. So bear with me just 1 minute while I get it up on a different computer so I can. Oh, and it's a fraction, everybody's favorite. Okay, so the guided practice problem, for which I did not assign, but I am going to try here just so that y'all can see. The ordered pair is 4 and negative 1/2. So just to remind you, this is the X and this is the Y. So what I'll do, here is my equation. X plus 2y equals 5. So what I'll do then is substitute these values in for the X and the Y respectively. So I'm going to substitute 4n for the X plus 2, and then I'm going to do this in parentheses and plug the negative 1/2 in for the Y. And then I'll simplify. This doesn't change anything. And 2 times a negative 1/2 is going to be a negative 1 equals 5. And 4 plus a negative 1 is actually 3. And 3 does not equal 5. So that is not a solution of that. I'm going to go back over here. Okay. That's great, Natty Grace. I'm glad. So you'll start next semester. Do you know when you'll start? Like right in January? Okay. Well, I'll definitely be praying for you. And just to let you know, Mackenzie thought the first half was harder than the second. So, because she said the second was a lot of equations, which she likes equations better than shapes, I guess I would say. So she loved the equation part. But okay, yeah, she really likes equations much better, and so, but I'll be praying for you, and I'll help where I can. But I will tell you, we hired Miss Wynn, who teaches geometry at the school, to tutor her a couple times in areas that she just needed to get over the hump, and that was extremely helpful. So that might be something you could bear in mind if there's just something you need a little help with. She's absolutely wonderful. And I do believe Miss Murphy knows a good bit about geometry too, because there's two avenues for you to, if you do need some extra help. And I think Jake's already taken geometry, right? So, it's always nice to have a support network in place when you're getting ready to do that. So that's cool. Good to know. Oh, do you go see? Oh, okay. Yes, that's true, Natty Grace. I might be your teacher next year. 2 years in a row, back to back. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, I feel blessed by it as well. And okay, Evan, please tell Miss Murphy I said hello. I love Miss Murphy. She is an amazing tutor. Let's see. I wanted to see. Let me go on to the next page and see what the next. The next was graphing. The next examples were graphing. And then it also, I know one thing I do want to cover. Okay, see you, Natty Grace. Have a blessed day. Please keep me posted about your hand, baby girl. Okay, because I want to know. Especially if they can find something out today. Sometimes with x-rays, they don't know anything till they completely dry. But I'll be praying. Take care. And I know, Evan, I know I know you said you have to go in about 5 minutes, so um, I just wanted to I'm going to go over one other thing that I wanted to cover um, before you have to go. So let me switch back to here. I'm going to erase this. Oops. I guess. I'm kind of skipping to example 3, where it says y equals 2 and x equals -1. Just because I wanted to cover that. It's pretty self-explanatory. When you look at it in an example, but for some reason it seems like we get kind of confused the more we learn. So I feel like if I make a point of having you understand it up front, it will be helpful. But this one right here is always going to be a horizontal line, because no matter what the x value is, no matter where it is all along the line, the y value is always going to be 2. So it's a horizontal line because it doesn't move up and down the y-axis. It stays stationary on the y-axis. So it's parallel, meaning that every x value is a possibility, but the y will always be 2. And in this case, on the x equals -1, it's a vertical line, because no matter what the y value is, the x is always going to be -1. So it's a vertical line. And I think, I know for me, a blue moon ago, when I was originally learning all about coordinate planes, that got a little confusing for me, because the y-axis is the vertical one and the x-axis is the horizontal one. So it's the opposite, because what you're really stating is that the y value stays the same, so it's not moving. So that makes it a horizontal line. And the x value isn't moving on this vertical line, so that makes it a vertical line. So it stays right where that one x value is. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. So, okay. Oh, no. That's fine. I just was trying to make sure that I was covering different types of examples. I understand that you have to go. One question before you go. Last Tuesday, I did an afternoon math lab, and I wanted to find out if the morning was better or the afternoon was better. And if the afternoon is better, it wouldn't necessarily have to be 2 o'clock. Yes, I realized you didn't make it to the afternoon one, and that's totally okay. But perhaps it could have been the fact that it was 2 o'clock that was bad. Is there an afternoon time that would be better for you? Oh, you like the morning ones. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I just was checking to make sure. Would it be better for you, since you're my most consistent attender, if I did a 9 o'clock as opposed to a 9:30? Would that be better? 9? I don't know if that yes question was 9:30. Great. All right. Well, I'll just keep it on that. And then also, if you can think of something after you go through the video or whatever that you ever have a question that maybe you don't really want to ask in there, you can either email me or you can put it in the text box. And that will be the first problem that I cover every time I do Math Lab. So even if it's about prior homework or the prior chapter or whatever. So, but I know you have to go and I don't want to make you late for Miss Murphy. Be sure and tell her I said hey, and I appreciate her. All right. Bye-bye. Brooke?